Hey guys, RPM here. Hope you're doing well. Having a really great day. Oh, geez, it's cold right now, so I gotta really get these rigs on. So this video, basically a continuation of previous videos here, bringing you guys along the journey here of since it's winter time, made all these open air mining rigs. I really love how they look, and this is gonna go great, hopefully, to provide heat in my new house, new mining location area here. So I'm just gonna be placing these all around the house, gonna get them on. And you may have noticed I did bring the 83070 rig, but it still has the 2000 watt, very loud mining cave power supply. So I'm just gonna deal with it for now. We'll come back to this if it becomes even a bigger problem. I'm gonna be placing this mining rig in an area where, you know, the noise won't really matter too much. So I want to quickly talk about the power cables that I'm using. So most of you guys who've been following my vlogs for my new house here, I have 120 volt, 20 amps in every single room. Dedicated circuits in every single room, and also every single room also has a 120 volt, 15 amp circuit. So plenty of power, but of course we're only limited to 120 volt. I wish these were all 240 volt, which I could convert if I wanted to. These are 12 gauge wiring. Some of you guys know in my studio that I'm wanting to convert one, but around the house I don't need 240 volt in every single outlet. So an issue that I had, and it's not really an issue, but I have these power cables that are the 515 plugs, and surprisingly it was pretty hard for me to find these cables because I rarely use 120 volt for plugging in for mining rigs. And so I just wanted to show you guys here, I have 3 different gauged C13 to 515P plugs, okay, cables, just regular computer cables. But the difference here is the gauge, okay? So I actually found out this is a 14 gauge one, I got a 16 gauge one, and then an 18 gauge power cables, okay? You can see the difference in thickness here, and it even labels it on the cable itself. So this is just a little warning, maybe a disclaimer for some of you guys that are running on 120 volt power, which is pretty popular in North America. So you wanna make sure that your cables that you're using aren't these like very thin cables, because you could burn these up. And you know, you wanna make sure for mining rigs, you know, such as these, which I just set up, I wanna make sure that I'm using thick gauged cables so that will have the, I guess, capacity and also help with the heat, right? As these get hotter, then there's potential for these to burn. And I know a lot of you guys have probably seen burnt outlets before, and that's really due to heat and just simply a lot of power going through a, you know, 15 amp or 20 amp 120 volt circuit, right? Which is just, you know, as these mining rigs can draw upwards to about, you know, depending on the power supply, all that stuff, and your GPUs, it can be a lot, right? Some people plug 3090s on regular power outlets like this, and it's just like, okay, you're gonna trip the breaker, or it's gonna, yeah, you're just gonna have a fire hazard of some sort. So I just wanted to show these thick cables here for you guys. I don't know, for anyone, that's just a disclaimer, maybe go check your cables just in case you're using flimsy, you know, C13 to 515 plugs, because you just wanna be safe, right? You wanna be safe. So 14 gauge, gonna be using these cables all around for all of my mining rigs. Anyways, let's go ahead and plug the first mining rig into a room, and I'm gonna get this place heat up. So let's go to the first room. All right, guys, it is 61, 62 Fahrenheit in this room for my non-USA friends. It's 16 degrees Celsius here. So it's okay, but it's kind of cold still. So I'm hoping that this is going to be the rig that'll maybe bring it up a few degrees, maybe 10 degrees. I don't know. Depends what we're mining. In the previous video, we were mining Caspa. So this whole rig was taking about, I think, less than 600 watts on a 2000 watt power supply. So this should be pretty good on a 20 amp, 120 volt dedicated circuit here. So let's go ahead and turn this on. Oh, turned off, and should turn back on. That is loud. Whoa. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this server PSU, or it's an ATX, but it's a one of those Bitcoin mining server power supplies, and the 80 mil fans. That is, yeah, that's too loud. Okay, I'll definitely have to change it. I know I mentioned that in the previous video, but I thought it wasn't too bad, but it's actually bad. Yeah, that's too loud. All right, do we have network here? Yes, we do. Perfect. Okay. All right, guys. Well, we'll come back to here and eventually, and we'll see what the temperature is. Okay, let's go plug in the second mining rig. Okay, you guys remember, this is the LT light in this room here. And now, just want to show you guys the temperature. So, since it's a lot cooler outside, the temperature is now 51 Fahrenheit in this general area. And it's 10 degrees Celsius. So it is cold here where my couch is. So, decided to put this 3060 Ti white mining rig here, and I do have dedicated 120 volt 20 amp circuit right there and network. Okay, so let's go ahead, let's turn this thing on, and this side as well, and the power button is right here, right beside the couch. Hopefully that should be okay. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, nice. Acts as like ambient lighting. I think this is perfect. And I made sure to double check all the connections before I turned it on, just because we obviously transported it here. And I'm hearing something not good on this rig. Can you guys hear that? Wait a sec. It's, yeah, definitely one of the GPU risers fans. One of them is broken. This one. Alright, that one's broken. Alright, it's not making that noise anymore. Okay, I think we're okay. Alright guys, time to set up the other rig. We'll come back to this one. Alright, oh man, okay, it's cold in here. I'm going to show you guys the temperature. It's about 49 over here. As you guys know, or may know, I do have a HS light over here. Okay, this is a gold shell HS light, and it's only producing about 700 watts of heat, and I really don't feel that much heat. I'm hoping that this 3070 rig over here is going to produce something. I think another 700 watts or so. I think we were mining flux with this rig, so maybe we need to change it to Kapow, but let me turn this on. Nice. I really like how the Zotac amp hollows turn on. It's like a delayed start. Pretty cool. This should be mining flux soon, and I guess, I don't know, in a while we'll see what the temperature is. I'll probably do 24 hours, but or maybe I can do another video. But so this corner, again, another dedicated 120 volt 20 amp and network on this corner here. I'm thinking of maybe putting another rig right here, because there's another dedicated here. So since this room is obviously a lot bigger, I probably need a lot more mining rigs in here just to keep it warm. So you know what, I may potentially just add in another rig right beside, but I'll have no problem putting like a 3060 rig right beside on that plug, but then I will need a switch. Yeah, I'll need a switch, which I actually don't have right now. Anyways, let me just plug in the last two rigs somewhere else in this house just to get some heat everywhere. Okay, we are under my wife's desk. I'm gonna put a mining rig here because of course there's a dedicated 120 volt 20 amp here and a network cable just for this mining rig. And yes, my wife doesn't use the network, she uses Wi-Fi, so we're okay there. So this is perfect, right under her desk here. Let's turn this thing on. And okay, it's loud, so this is not gonna work. Ah, no, the mining cave power supply, it's too loud. I thought the 120 mil fan would be okay, but it's kind of loud. You guys can hear it, right? Okay, let me go ask her. Alright, bad news. Wife doesn't like it, so we're taking it out. I have another rig actually. You guys may remember I brought it to my office. The 6x3060 Ti $11,000 mining rig built back in May of 2021. So we're gonna put it here, so I'll be right back. Alright, here's the 6x3060 Ti rig. This does not have a loud power supply. It's a EVGA 1200 watt P2. Does have a 120mm fan, but it's dead silent. So that's a good sign. But I do hear some little fan noises, but it's really not loud. Like, I don't even have to talk loud. So my wife approves. She was worried a bit because this mining frame, this is a AAA wave frame, like an old school sluice frame, and the ends were very sharp. So she put some little like padding on it just in case, because this is where she's gonna work. She might bump into it. And I did try to put it in there, but it wouldn't fit. So it's just gonna sit out here for now as her little heater. Hopefully it should heat up the room. I think it will. I put this rig to mining flux, and so using a little bit more power. And I think in another video, if it doesn't get hot in here, I'm probably gonna raise the overclocks on this rig just so that we can get more, essentially more heat, even though we're probably gonna get a little bit more inefficient, but it doesn't matter. We're probably gonna gain a little bit more hash rate, but we're also gonna use a lot more power. But we can do that another time. And I just noticed what is going on with this Asus Strix 3060 Ti. This is one that was this is not a LHR or anything, but why are the lights flashing? It's definitely warm and it is mining, so I wonder if it thinks that the 1200 watt P2, the PCIe cables are not enough or enough power. That's interesting. Okay, anyways, let's go plug in my last mining rig, the 5700 rig. Alright guys, in my office. You guys may notice that it looks a little bit different. I got my main editing gaming PC here, set up this area. I'll probably update you guys in another video explaining some more stuff. But I did order a 10 gigabit Ubiquiti 8-port SFP switch. 2 of them actually, so stay tuned for that video. Anyways, I have the 5700 rig here, and let's go ahead and we'll just flick the switch. Will it turn on? And nope. And this one has a power button. And yeah, we got another loud one. Okay, so this is another 1600 watt mining cave power supply, exact same. It's a great power supply, but it is loud, and I am not looking for loud. This is not gonna work for me. You know what? I'm thinking, since this one has a mining cave power supply as well, that's really loud on these 3060s and these 5700s, I'm gonna bring these 2 rigs down into the basement, and then I'm gonna go back to my other crypto mining basement. We're gonna build more open air mining rigs because yeah, it's cold in this room as well. Okay guys, I'm going to wait another, I don't know, 24 hours or so in the next day and just see how the heat is in the other previous rooms that we just did. So we'll come back to that. Let's just go up to the 8x3070 rig that we first set up. Alright, a good amount of heat. Alright, so it is definitely warmer in this room. Here's the temperature in Fahrenheit, 71 Fahrenheit, and then in Celsius it is 21 degrees Celsius. So this is like the perfect comfortable temperature in my opinion for us, for me, and yeah, this is good. I really love the blower style GPUs. Pretty cool. All the heat coming out of the back here, which is nice, as their blower styles, so they force the air this way, unlike, you know, the dual fan or triple fan GPUs. I would say the heat just goes everywhere, but more so these blowers are perfect as like a heater. Okay guys, so this room is good, but I think I'm gonna be moving this 3070 rig down into the basement because simply this power supply is too loud, and yeah, I'm not willing to change it out because all the PCIe connections, 8 for the risers, and then each 3070 has 2 8-pins. So I don't have, or well, I do have ATX PSUs, but I'll have to use 2 1200 watts, and that's something I don't think I need to change on this rig. I'm just gonna bring it down to the basement, deal with it that way, and then I will probably build another open air mining rig with a regular ATX PSU. Okay, let's go downstairs. Let's see what the temp is there. All right, the beautiful 3060 Ti rig producing a good amount of heat, and the temperature in this general area is 69 Fahrenheit, nice, and then in Celsius for my non-American friends, almost 21 degrees Celsius, so comfortable. Yep, it is definitely comfortable in here. And the LT light is also in this area as well, producing a good 1400 watts, I think, as well, which is really good. Yeah, good amount of heat is coming out of here. But the greatest thing about these gold shells is nice and quiet. And I actually just bought 2 KD lights just to heat my place. So those are coming. Not quite sure when, but I'll do another video on those, of course. All right, guys, so that's it for this area. I think that's a success. Adding this 3060 Ti rig in this area has definitely brought heat ambiently into this open area here, which is really good. So, okay, let's go to my final area. All right, okay, yeah, it's decent in this open area, but not quite as hot as the other areas. It's 67 Fahrenheit here, or let's see, 19 degrees Celsius. So it does feel, I don't know, it doesn't feel hot, like, and it feels still a little bit cold, but this 3070 rig is definitely producing some heat here. You know what? I'm thinking I'll probably raise the overclocks on this rig so that it can produce more heat, and that should then hopefully bring up the temperature in this more open area here. So we're gonna do that in another video, but I'm gonna say adding this rig in this room is a success. Okay, and in my wife's room, it's generally the same temperature as well because it's pretty close by here. And then in my studio, it's the same, roughly, you know, between 67, 68 Fahrenheit. Okay, so that's all well and good. All right, guys, that's it for this video. It's long enough. Let me know your thoughts if you guys are using, you know, mining rigs as heaters right now. I mean, it makes sense, right? Instead of using like baseboard heaters or stuff like that. I mean, if you're in a colder area, obviously, then for those that are mining, you might as well just use mining rigs as heat. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one. Peace out.